here. So let me just tweet it out here so everybody can join in. 1 second. All right, let's get this here and there and good. Good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So here we are, just continuing our series on magical triangles. Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying it. So today we're going to profile a couple other ones that were pretty interesting here today, just about momentum breakouts, right? I mean, so that was just an interesting day today with Fed Day. So before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see. Well, first things first, is see where we left off the market today. Then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so SPX up 11 points here today, back to the upper Bollinger Band here in the monthly chart. Weekly chart getting some follow through here off of that doji reversal week, right? Continue to work its way up. Daily chart again, a pretty decent bounce here today off of the ADMA, right? And working on our impulsive wave up, right? So it still looks like it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe we're kind of working on an ending diagonal wave 5 up. Let's see what happens here into the end of the week. Could be interesting, but don't forget, I wouldn't be surprised if we gave a little bit of a wave 4 or a subwave pullback here off of the wave 2. So it could actually be a wave 3. A wave 4 pullback of the first order. So we'll keep an eye on that one and see how it goes here going into the rest of the week. And let's take a look at the intraday price action. So wow, choppy, sloppy, right? So just basically what you'd expect for a Fed day. It was kind of interesting. We did gap down here today. This is cool in a way because we did find some good stocks that we liked on the short side today, including Plug, which had an amazing gap down this morning, and Macy's, which gave a nice push down here this morning. And then we just chopped like as we expected. Right? A couple morning moves, and then chop, and then the Fed. Right? Let's take a look at the futures and see how things are looking here this evening. So again, our levels obviously ended up playing well. We were definitely convinced that the chop was real. This morning we were just kind of just bouncing between two signal zones, right? So bounce, and then the Fed get all the way to all-time high. So pretty cool stuff there. It looks like we're grinding higher here this evening. So a couple geometric lines here to kind of keep an eye on going into the rest of the night is here. Right, definitely want to look at here. And then we have turned off of this level right here, so we can definitely keep an eye on this going into the rest of the evening as we're continuing to test the recent highs. So we'll have a fresh game plan out on these and fresh levels out in the morning for our Bubble Report subscribers. So don't worry about that. We'll come equipped tomorrow with another fresh game plan. So good stuff there. All right, so let's get to the topic. And again, this week we've been talking about magical triangles, right? So triangles are really awesome, especially on the day trading side. They really do give a lot of opportunities. Today we're going to talk about momentum breakouts of those, right? When things are really choppy like they are today and you're expecting an event, sometimes you can catch a momentum move through a triangle. And it was pretty cool. We actually had a couple that set up today pretty nicely. The first one we're going to look at is Boeing, right? So if anybody new is joining us here, right, you saw that we tweeted out on Twitter. One of the things that we do in our group is we've got a proprietary option flow channel, and we only really kind of pull up the kind of the best of the best, the really unusual stuff with pretty high volume. This way to kind of weed out the noise, right? If you guys have looked at other like option flow software out there, it's just you're just inundated with. You're like, oh, is that a setup? Let's put the best in front of you, right, and then look for a setup, right? So today we pointed out Boeing today, and I'm going to go ahead and just I'm going to clear out this chart right here. So some pretty cool stuff here. So we got a couple setups on this one, but what I really like about this is the pre-Fed move, right? So the Fed was at 2 o'clock. We knew we had the confidence, right, that there was some increase. Call flow, right? We had a huge amount of call, like $18 million worth of call flow today on Boeing, which is really pretty wild. And epic reversal on this one too. So that came out like kind of around noon, right? And so we started to see some strength right here, but it's tough to buy into strength, right? Because why is that? Because there's always the chance for a pullback, right? I mean, we know that things move in waves, right? And so one of the really important things here that we saw is that when that call flow came out, things were really pushing, right? So that's where we don't look to enter, even though the volume was good. We don't look to enter into that. We look to buy a dip, right, or a retrace, or we look for another chart pattern that's setting up. And so one of the cool things that happened today on Boeing is that we did get, you saw I had the Fibonacci's on here. We did get a nice retrace on that. We also had a real nice triangle form in here too, right? And so this is just a perfect example of a magical triangle here for us. Let me activate this. So again, I just love how the geometric line ended up holding beyond the triangle. But this is it, right? So this is before the Fed. Right now, trading the Fed's a tricky one. But once we can see things were really starting to work their way out of the triangle, right? We got a nice push out of here with increased volume, right? We didn't get any follow through on it. We retested the triangle, and then the Fed just kind of launched right through these levels right here, right? So really nice stuff off of that. Oops, sorry about that. Off of that last pullback, right? So, and you can kind of see here, there's kind of like a mini flaggish type pattern, kind of mini falling wedge on that pullback, right? And here's your momentum move right through that level, right? Which is really fast moving, got to the 15 orb high before pulling back again, and of course coming basically pretty close to that bow and arrow support that we talked about yesterday. So a great example of both a retracement to retest the triangle and then a go into the Fed. So cool stuff there, and also having the extra confidence behind it with $18 million worth of calls being bought today, right? So pretty wild stuff there. At least volume traded. So good stuff there. And of course, the other one is just the SPX itself, right? I mean, there was a lot of triangle breakouts today, but we really like these moves, and sometimes you can catch a momentum move on this, especially if you're expecting it, right? So we had a nice move right here. Again, this is just an estimate from earlier, but if we kind of go right here, you can see this is just great, right? So we're just kind of chopping around all day, chop, pre-Feds up, and then you can see the movement coming in right here. Here's your momentum breakout right here through there. So it barely even pulled back, right? So gave a nice move there. Then Powell started talking about like 230, right? Things pulled back kind of right away off of that one. Then we bounced off of it, right? So pretty cool stuff, and another magical triangle to work its way up with a momentum move through this level, right? So again, triangles are tough, right? If you see it, great. But if you're noticing you're having a choppy day, and today was such a perfect example of that, if things are choppy, chances are you're probably in a triangle. So good stuff, guys. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So again, 2 more trading days left this week, so looking forward to it. Now that the Fed is done and behind us, Powell is talking tomorrow at 11:55. He's got kind of a speech, so we might see a little IPS tomorrow, but we'll see what kind of follow through we get with the futures tonight. So good stuff. So Suyag, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing great. Let's take a look. So we've got a few on the radar for you. Let's see what we got. So you've got BA, we just took a look at there, but let's take a look at it on the daily chart. So yeah, so nice 180 reversal candle here today off of the ADMA. So let's see if we can get any follow through on that one. Again, I had a huge push up right here, recent retrace off of it. So again, I've got some old Fibonacci levels on here, but the recent run up has been here. If you want to look at the fibs, right? Recent run up has been here. Right, we're right off of the 382, so that could still be a momentum mover on Boeing. So good stuff there. PLTR, again, tough here, guys. Gave a nice spike here. Again, a lot of things gave some really nice spikes here today. A lot of magical triangles today, but we did still leave an upper shadow here off of the ADMA. Drifting up after hours, so let's even get over the ADMA and hold it going into tomorrow. So good stuff there. CCIV, let's take a look. A little bit of a doji reversal candle here today. Not as much. I mean, it did get a pop like everything else here today. But see if we kind of get this double doji reversal. That could be an interesting one there for CCIV. And then MMM, Triple M. That's right. I was like 3 minute. Right, exactly. Right. So anyway, inside day up today, right? But then left a nasty upper shadow. In fact, 3M is such a heartbreaker. This thing barely didn't even go up during the Fed. It just went down. Right. I mean, this is just such a tough one. So try to take the inside day. It kind of came back into that inside day range. So just be careful with that. Might want to test the other end of the range too. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, again, possibly working on this, well, I mean, it's basically trying to channel itself up right now. So, again, the big thing we're still tracking here is, like, will it get all the way back up to the trend line before reversing back down? Or is this it, right? Is this just the dip and blah, right? So, this just kind of this 5-wave down, and that's it. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, but chances are we're still in a zigzag. I'm still tracking it for some confirmation. But good stuff there. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. CCL. So again, up 68 cents here today. Good bounce off of yesterday's lows. Again, it took the Fed to get it going, but a nasty move at the open. But other than that, hanging in there and holding on to the ADMA. So we'd like to see a little more volume on it, but hanging in there so far. Tesla. So Tesla, guys, in the trend box. Why are we in the trend box? Because we broke above the bump line right here, and now we've got a high that we got to close above with increased volume. We got a good volume day today. We're still kind of stuck in the trend box. Above here with confirmation, we could see the run go, right? So this is your bump, and that's your run, right? So we'll see how it goes here with Tesla. But it gave pretty wild moves here today for sure. Good stuff. And Shirley sent a few via email, so let's take a look at those. Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Let's take a look at DHA. So you got a couple home builders on the radar here today. So a couple nice engulfing candles on these. So we did have some upgrades on a bunch of home builders here recently. A couple upgrades on these recently, but strong move on the home builders today. Lumber prices getting high and all that stuff. So see how that goes here for these guys. EXPE, again, this is a strong one too. I really like this candle today. Definitely want to keep on the radar. See if we can get some continued upside. Len, again, another home builder here with a kind of this bullish engulfing day. I mean, just incredible stuff. These ones broke out like halfway through the day today. What was some news on this one? Lennar announces $4 billion single-family rental pro. I think we had earnings right on this, right? Didn't we have earnings? Yeah, we had just a conference call later today. So good stuff there. But yeah, look at that. Right after the conference call, just boom, look at that. But you just can't ignore that volume. When you got what was the volume here? It was 56,000, and then you're at almost 10 times the volume on a candle. You got to take notice of that. So that was a good move there on Lennar there. So good stuff, great find. So Rick sent me one here via Twitter, so let's take a look here. We got AI. Let's take a look at AI. Still kind of grinding its way down right here. It's up a little bit after hours. Just been below the 80 EMA right here, so just to kind of bluff you. If you put a trend line on this from the recent lows, it might be trying to work on something, right? So you got this low right here, right? That's through the level right here. So you do have a trend box. So really the big levels that we're looking at here are over the trend box or below 77, right? Below 77, trend line shifts back over. Above the trend box with volume, and we might be working on a trend shift back up. So good stuff there. Ollie, where's the ARK email update? So they don't come out until what? Let's see. Do I have it? I don't even have an email yet. Usually they come out later. Maybe they had a rough day. No, Tesla ended up they ended up buying the dip on it, right? So that ended up making it here today. So yeah, so it might come out a little bit later here this evening, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, possibly later. So good stuff. Searing, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing great. Yeah, let's take a look at Shop. Yeah, so Shopify, woo! This one really pulled back here recently, but it had a good pop here today. Not as much volume as I'd like to see, but over the 80 MA, and it's kind of, you got some cloud up here, so it might try to, just kind of grind up the cloud till it gets to the 50-day moving average. So just a little caution there, but any breakout out of the cloud would definitely perk my interest. So good stuff there. Messy, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Snap. So Snap again, very similar right here. Nice candle back over the 80 MA. A strong, generally uptrend today. Look pretty decent here for the majority of the day. Right, a couple nice pushes right here, but generally higher highs, higher lows throughout the entire day. So generally pretty good there. Would like to have seen a little more volume, but still good stuff there. It's good. Michael, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing great. So let's take a look and see what we got here. So we've got where'd you go? TCAT. Let's take a look. Yes, this is awesome. I just love how you always find these ones. Just incredible move on this one today. What do these got? Take Hung Art. So I mean, what do these people do? Who knows? Who cares? It's list of stocks being viewed as non-fungible token plays. So, okay, so you got a NFT. All right, so cool. So there you go. So this is huge, big move off of the inside day today. Big candle on TCAT. I love it. VWAGY. Volkswagen. Okay, yeah. So for a nice push on that one here today too. Good stuff. UPST. Again, this is good. After this is gonna gap up here to 90 after hours. We pointed this one out on the live stream. Look at that. Woo! Big move on that one. Not only do they have decent earnings, but I think they're selling too, right? Some acquisition news, I think. Trade cover reported better than expected earnings, sales results. Company also announced what else? Plans. Oh, they're acquiring. So plans to acquire Prodigy Software. Wow, I'd say it's so funny. Everything's been backwards these days, right? So stocks are gapping up on acquisitions instead of the one being bought. So pretty wild stuff there. But anyway, huge gap up on that one here today. Great find on that one too. Great. We'll see how that holds going tomorrow. Obviously, for the gap and go, right, we'd like to see it get over this level up here, the 105.58. So it may actually reverse a little bit, but we'll see how that goes there. And then IMTE, let's take a look. Huge candle today. Epic. IntegratedMediaTechnology.com. Or company. Cool. Incredible move today. Great stuff. I love it. FTCV will move like CCIV in your opinion? Nice. Well, it already did give a huge move right there. Yeah, FinTech Acquisition Corp. I know you're watching this one. I think one of the big things with SPACs, right, is like whoever's like the sponsor, right, or the manager of it. Like, so I'm not sure who this is, but if you know, let me know if it's like somebody reputable or something like that. That could be pretty cool. But yeah, definitely keep it on the radar for sure. So CI PLTR looks like bearish harmonics on the 30 PLTR. Let's take a look. So bearish harmonics Let's see on the 30-minute chart here. Yeah, I mean, depends how far you go. You'd have to show me the chart later. I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it. So good stuff there. Awesome. Ron, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, let's take a look at BLNK and see how that's looking. So BLNK. So BLNK with a nice close here over the ADMA, right? So let's just kind of keep an eye on the geometric line right here and see if this one is ready. It actually could be working on a bull flag here, so just kind of keep an eye on this here going into tomorrow. See if we can break out over there again. If it is, right, so we could see a measured move up on this, right? So here's your flagpole, right? Here's the bottom of the flag. Here. Right, we're just gonna stretch that up and see if we can get into the cloud, right? And that would be actually a pretty interesting move there before earnings. So keep an eye on that one. Good reversal off of that there too. And then net, let's take a look. So net, kind of a lower volume day today. We did get back over the 80 MA. It looks very, very similar, right, to BLNK, kind of a bull flagish type pattern right here. It's got a little room to get up to the cloud in the 50-day moving average. See if we can get some volume in that and see if it gets going. So good stuff there. Great finds. Awesome. Really good stuff right there. Michael SLGG, let's take a look. Getting frisky, yeah. So it's definitely perking up right here. So it's had a couple big days, a couple nice moves. So let's see if that can keep going. Good stuff right there. James, what's going on? Good to see you. Long time no see you. Hope you're doing great. Let's see Vale. Yeah, so Vale, again, kind of doing its thing right here. It is working on its own sort of magical triangle right here. So recently kind of worked its way down. It's got really, really tight range on this. Let's see if we get some volume out of this one way or the other. Obviously, Brazilian ADR, so tends to be all over the place, but worth tracking here to see if we can break above this geometric line. So good stuff there. And Michael, it's Betsy Cohen. Okay, cool. Toro manager. All right, good. Good. All right. Well, cool. Yeah, definitely want to keep an eye on. Thanks for bringing that to our attention here on FTCV. I love it. Good stuff. Good. Well, great, guys. Hopefully everybody had a great day today. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in for the show tonight. Tomorrow is we're going to wrap up tomorrow and try to find another cool magical triangle and another technique with triangles that we could talk about. Again, today we talked about momentum. Yesterday we talked about the bow and arrows. The day before we talked about volume on the breakout. So all important stuff. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in here this evening. For everybody who's part of our group, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow in the Bubble Report and in the Discord. And good stuff. Oh, David, you tuned in. Awesome. Here, give me 1 second. Let me give my tea real quick. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So we've got NRG. Yeah, so NRG, really nasty candle here today. Big gap down, right? This is definitely on the radar here. Huge volume to the downside. Again, keep an eye on this one. See if it breaks down here below today's lows, and especially below this doji low right here, which was a reversal, right? So $40.33, right? It's got room to get to the 200-day on NRG. And then CLPS, let's take a look. CLPS here with a pretty decent candle, good push there over these levels. A little bit of a kind of an inexpensive name, but again, looks like it's trying here. So see how that goes there. And the AEI, let's take a look at that one here too. Yeah, another relatively inexpensive name, but some good volume coming in there today. Good push at the end of the day on that one. So see if that can get a eHome International. Yeah, see if it can get a push above those highs and if it gets any more upside. So Reed, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Bitcoin. Let's take a look and see how that's doing here. Again, we always look at this one in the Bubble Report too, and we track it throughout the day. But we ended up closing with a hammer over the ADMA. Really cool stuff, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of follow through on Bitcoin today, and that actually got a nice move today too, pre-Fed, I think. When was its first? Yeah, no, right at the Fed too. So pretty cool that Bitcoin got going at about the same time too. So wow, good stuff. Anyway, guys, yeah, thanks Reed for hitting the like button. Again, if anybody's new here, be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe and hit the notification button so you can see our videos throughout the day. Other than that, guys, we'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow for the obviously for all our stuff with the group, but also the free stuff on Twitter and the Good Morning Market Prep video here on YouTube. So again, guys, thanks everybody for tuning in. Even if you're watching the recording, please hit the like button, and really appreciate everybody. Have a great night. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe.